Don't you just love Football Manager? The transfer window, it shut 3 weeks ago, and after 3 weeks, the board came to me and said, hey, do you want £10 million to spend? Well, I'll tell you what, yeah, I would like £10 million to spend. I would have loved it 3 weeks ago. Annoying. How is it going, folks? Welcome back to Part to Prem, and since that transfer budget meltdown, I have played quite a lot of Football Manager. We are here at the end of November already. We have now played, I think, 12 or 13 games in the league. I'll be honest, I kind of forgot there's only 38 games in the Premier League season. I've got so used to the 46-game seasons. What it does mean is, these games today do actually matter. Now, last episode, I and I ahed about maybe doing one of the games against the big teams, but we are going to play one of the big teams in Bournemouth, because in this universe, their media prediction was 6th. However, they are down in 14th. They are struggling a hell of a lot, and they're the kind of team that, at this point in the year, I want to believe we have a chance against. The other team we're going to play today is Peterborough. I know, Peterborough again. Look, they are our big rivals at the bottom of the table. The one team that I was confident we could finish above going into the summer transfer window. They're currently bottom without a win. So these are 2 games that we should be getting points from. Now, before we talk all about the footballing action, let's talk about some transfer action, because we did make 3 further signings after last episode, but before the transfer window slammed shut. The first of those, a player who I had my eye on over the summer period, Gustavo Lemos. Welcome to the club. 18 years old, Uruguayan player, is going to keep Montero happy at the club as well by signing another Uruguayan. He looks absolutely mad. He's got a 10 rating in training. Everything's been great about him, except his actual performances. He has a 6.68 rating in 8 games. But I'm going to show some faith. I'm going to show some patience. For the price we paid, I think he will still come good. Elsewhere, we picked up Jeff Pell. This man, just a bit of squad depth, really. A new backup goalkeeper. I have sold Rigby, finally. You might remember this man was in the championship signings of the season. A good player at 28 years old for 650k. He's a player who I think could be good enough if Setford moves on, but ultimately as a backup, he should be able to do the job for us. And the final of the signings we've made between last episode and deadline day was James Price. This wasn't really a position I was looking for a player in, but when I saw James was available, I kind of wanted him. This man is 27 years old. He's no spring chicken by any means, but he's a super consistent performer. Very, very good attacking player. But despite that, his actual goal scoring record is atrocious. 28 goals in 160 games. But for £3.2 million, I think he just represents some really good value for money. Or at least I did think that before we started playing him. And he's got a 6.38 rating. Yeah, of all the signings we've made, he might be the worst, but on paper, he still looks like he should be useful for us. Just in some further kind of contract signing news, Machete has signed a new deal at the club. Of course, previously had a low release clause. I think it was £4 million to teams in a higher division. Only had 2 years left on his contract as well. Given his start to the season, given some of the interest we've had in him, I have managed to renew his contract. Minor issue, I suppose. £35 million release clause to teams in continental competitions, which obviously, it's not a small amount of money. I don't really like release clauses in general, but considering we signed him for 350k, if we were to sell him on for 100 times the money we brought him in for, it would be hard to be annoyed. Elsewhere in the team as well, Montero, another centre mid, another player signing a new deal. Of course, signed for us in the summer, but did have that annoyingly low release clause. I have offered him a little bit of a wage rise, and in return, he has upped his relegation release clause to £16 million, minimum release clause of £33 million. Basically safeguarding him. Don't want to lose this man to anyone else, especially not for pennies, and with this deal, a minor pay rise, we kind of achieved that. Now, of course, last episode we got off to an unbeaten start to the season. Off the back of that, a really good result. We beat Blackburn 1-0, a second clean sheet in our opening 3 games, and it was a solitary goal that got us the win. In this game, Machete with the all-important goal. Not a bad team display, although the strikers were a little bit disappointing, especially having just scored 4. So naturally, having beaten Blackburn 1-0 in the league, we were going to follow it up with another win in the Carabao Cup. No. Look, I rotated the team for this game. I don't want to say I threw, but I did just play a completely kind of B team lineup. We lost 7-0. Lemos made his debut in this game. He got sent off in this game. Yeah, this was... Let's not dwell on this result too much. So having just lost 7-0 against Blackburn, Liverpool away was our next game. I was up for this game. I was excited for this game. And then Hendrick scored after 13 seconds. Yeah, Hendrick's quite good in Football Manager, isn't he? This game did end up finishing 5-0. Liverpool are just quite good, really. I mean, these aren't the games that are going to make or break our season. Hendrick in this match did get a hat-trick. Yeah, I mean, like I said, he's quite good. He's got 14 goals in 9 games. And the man alongside him, Banza, here he is. And yeah, he was in on the goals as well. This is the kind of game where we're playing against a much better squad. 5-0 was probably a good result in hindsight. After that game, we took on Newcastle United, 1-1 in this game. Chilumbu with an all-important goal. Unfortunately, a rather familiar face for long-term Park to Prem and indeed Work the Space viewers. Popped up with a goal. Francisco Trincao got an equaliser just before half-time. From there, the game kind of just fizzled out. We then had Arsenal away, lost this one 2-0. We were actually 2 goals down before Jakub Gaspar decided to get sent off in this game. Not exactly what you want to see from our strikers, but ultimately we held firm and it only finished 2-0, which wasn't a bad result, and it was followed up by 2 important wins against slightly weaker opposition. The first, Leicester away, 2-1 in this game. Aboubakari with 2 goals, something that we absolutely love to see. And after that, we managed to beat Wolverhampton Wanderers 3-0. They are struggling down at the bottom. Kevan Williams with 2 goals in this game. Great to see. Aboubakari putting in another top quality performance. And this man, up until the last couple of games, has probably been the best player in our team. And I've just alluded to the last couple of games. Look, we're going to go through these 4 rather quickly. We got battered by Man City. It finished 2-1. We were in the lead for 4 minutes. It was not a bad performance, but at the same time, we never looked like winning it. After that, 3-1 against Everton, the most winnable of these games, but, well, we didn't really show up. And after that, Chelsea at home, Tottenham away, 6-0 the aggregate score, 4-0 against Chelsea, 2-0 against Tottenham. Look, when you look at the recent form, it's far from ideal, but through a tricky run of games, we've managed to get some points. We're in 13th, and today, hopefully 2 slightly more winnable games. So looking at the league table, it's not bad, it's not amazing. Ultimately this year, we're probably going to need around a point per game to stay up. 40 points is that golden number. At the moment, we have 14 points from 12 games, but with 4 defeats in a row, it's not exactly ideal. We were in a much better position once upon a time. The only silver lining really for us at the moment is the likes of Leicester, Wolves and Peterborough are all struggling quite heavily at the bottom. Of course, we've already played 2 of those 3 teams, and we're actually playing the 3rd of those teams today in Peterborough. And if you were wondering about the all-important XG table, 16th in that. So that isn't even like a get-out, is it? I mean, sometimes if you're doing badly in Football Manager, you can claim you've got the XG battle won. Nah, not even got that going for us. I joked last episode, didn't I, about the fact that Gaspar got a hat-trick against Leeds and he probably wouldn't score for the rest of the season. He has only got 1 goal since then, and to be honest, goals have just been something we've been struggling with a little. We have been rotating the team fairly consistently already at this point. I feel like we're a squad with lots of very average, similar ability players, and as a result of that, if someone's not in form, I'm more than willing to rotate them out. I don't want to over-panic too much, but ultimately, after a rough run of games, form isn't the best. I have managed to do a team meeting to help morale, but if you've played Football Manager, you know how important momentum is. You know how important just getting a couple of wins strung together is. And ahead of what should be a slightly more winnable run of games, 2 decent results today could set us up nicely for what is going to be a very, very important December. So in terms of team news for this first game, couple of little changes from last episode. Firstly, Mikel has been super disappointing. Yeah, not been very good. Has actually dropped out of the team as of late. Scott Williams coming back into the team. Has had a couple of bright games, played really well against Leicester and Wolves. These are the kind of games where I need the defence to show up. Besides that, he has been a little bit questionable, but I think he has earned a spot in the team. Elsewhere, you might be surprised to see Aboubakari still in at shadow striker. Truth be told, when I signed Lemos, I thought this man would waltz into the team, be the new starting shadow striker, but given his subpar start to the season and also Aboubakari's pretty good form, he's kind of locking down this spot. Elsewhere in the team, I am going to go with Chilumbu and Gaspar. Neither has been in particularly amazing form, but when you look at the teams who've recently played, I'm not going to criticise them too harshly. Ultimately, as a striker, it's kind of difficult to get a good rating if you're not creating anything, but in these games today, perhaps a bit more of an opportunity to make stuff happen going forward. So Bournemouth in this save game did have a Tycoon takeover. I think the Tycoon has scaled down the funding as of late, but as a result of that kind of funding and the players they've been able to bring in, they have been a fairly consistent team in European football. This year, of course, they are struggling big time. I'm sure they look at us as a game where they can turn around our fortunes. They have got Makoko up top to give you an idea of some of the talent that they've got. Not a bad team by any means. We are going to be tested here. Even if we lose this one, I want to believe it won't impact our chances against Peterborough. That said, this does feel like a winnable game, but we are going to need to defend well. And in fact, we're on the back foot early here. Patterson bringing it to the byline. Options in the middle. Plays it inside to Peterson. And that goes over. 10 minutes played here. We are struggling for possession early on. Not creating a great deal either. That said, well, I thought for a moment we might be able to make something happen with Volder. But unfortunately, he has now lost the ball. And now it is on Bournemouth looking to create stuff out from the back. Patterson with the ball for them. Bringing it forward on that far side, on the right wing. Lays it back to Mertes. Peterson now with it. Bournemouth enjoying a lot of possession early on, and whilst we are a team that like to have possession ourselves, I don't necessarily feel like it's the be-all or end-all, as long as they're not having it in dangerous areas. But with the way Bournemouth are moving it here, maybe I do need to be worried. Esprilla plays it forward. Peterson is there. He's offside. That's not going to count. The flag is raised. VAR will confirm it. But I'll be honest, I'm pretty confident here. It's not going to count. And in fact, it's not going to count. He went far too early. We've seen a few of those this year already, but maybe a little bit of a warning sign for us. Interesting as well to note Bournemouth's formation. They are playing a 5-2-3, or, well, I say 5-2-3. That's what the game labels it as. The way that wing-backs and defensive midfielders work in this game is a little bit funky, and with two complete wing-backs and two inverted kind of wide players, it's going to be a bit of a test, I think, for our wing-backs in this kind of game. Not often we come up against kind of inverted wide players and then wing-backs on the overlap, I feel like, in this year's match engine. And well, we've been gifted the ball here. Boubakari's going to dink it. Gaspar's there. He's hit the woodwork, and it was a rare opportunity after Bournemouth gave away the ball. Unfortunately, we hit the woodwork, and with that, we have still not found the target with any of our efforts. 40 minutes in. Throwing on the far side. Couple of minutes left of this half. Could we make something happen here? Hame leaves it. Chejera heads it. Parried away. Gaspar has one effort that's blocked. Has what I think was another effort. He really should be passing from there, but Gaspar has no concept of passing. The man has 17 finishing. He's going to shoot from anywhere. Unfortunately, despite having a shot on target, get in there to end the half, it is still 0-0 here. You can see, based on XG, debatably, we've been a tad unfortunate. Bournemouth haven't created a great deal, and in fact, as that half went on, we did start to enjoy a little bit more of the ball. Gonna tell the players I'm far from pleased. As the home side, I want to believe that we can win this game at home, albeit against the odds. Right now, Meslier in goal for them has a really good rating. I have to assume, oh my word, we've hit the crossbar again, that Meslier has signed for them since he played against us for Leeds. When did they sign him? Well, I can tell you the answer. They signed him around deadline day for £11 million. So, yeah, for the second episode in a row, Meslier is playing against us. This time for a different team. That's a bizarre thing to occur. Boubakari's not having the best game. Gaspar's not having a particularly good game either. Let's make some early changes here. I am going to bring in Kevan Williams. I'm going to move Chilumbu to play as an advanced forward. Elsewhere, Lemos is going to come in for his live commentary debut. No pressure on the 18-year-old, but let's see what he's capable of. And do I want to make more changes? You know what? I do. I'm going to bring in McKillop. McKillop, of course, one of my favourite players in this team. A player who I perhaps hold some bias to, has made plenty of cameos on off the bench. He's going to get another chance here to show us what he's made of. You might have noticed there, McKillop's average ratings aren't that good. And to be honest, I think that's just a general problem with defensive midfielders in the match engine. There's a lot of certain positions and roles that seem to get good ratings consistently, and others that seem to struggle a lot. It's one of those weird things in Football Manager where how players are graded for their performances is kind of sometimes a bit skew with, and I don't necessarily like to look at the average ratings as an indicator for performer. I feel like players are massively over kind of praised, I suppose, if they get goals and assists or keep clean sheets as a defender, and then there's certain positions where, well, it just feels like they never get good ratings, although Tejera does not deserve a good rating for whatever that was. Esprilla breaks through, Setford makes a save of sorts. That was not convincing. It's a bit of a stinger on his palms, but he has dealt with it. Still a corner, though, for us to deal with now. Cucurella over it. Bournemouth will be looking to get a goal, you have to imagine. This game could open up. With 18 minutes left, I wouldn't be betting on a 0-0 just yet. Okay, I'm going to take off Chilumbu here. We're going to bring in Gadia for a little bit of pace. Elsewhere in the team, do I want to make another sub? Could I make another sub? Where would I make the other sub, I suppose, is the real question. You know what? Galvez, on you come. Fresh legs at left wing back. Addams not played well today. Wolder, by the way, on a 7.4 rating at right back. He's having a great old time. Kevan Williams, corner. Anyone got deja vu? We've seen this before. Tejera. Oh, my word. I thought that was a goal. He's headed it into the side netting. I saw the net ripple. Unfortunately, the ball was hitting the wrong side of it. Are we about to have a second 0-0 in an episode in a row? I mean, I'm sorry for the 0-0s, but ultimately, it's really not a bad result. Given our recent form, to keep a clean sheet, to keep things firm, is fine. A little bit disappointing we couldn't score one of the 17 shots we had on goal, but only 4 on target. We won the XG battle, but we ultimately drew the war. But at the end of the day, a point is not bad here. Against a team predicted to finish 6th, we'll take that. And with that result, we leapfrog Middlesbrough. Take that, Middlesbrough. We're up to 12th. Elsewhere, Sheffield United just beat Peterborough 3-0 in a bit of a relegation battle. I mean, Peterborough have not won in 13 games. You have to back us at this point to win them, or win against them. We're not going to win Peterborough as a prize, but you have to back us to beat them. We've still not won in 5 games. Let's ignore that. Let's look at the positives. We kept a clean sheet. We have Peterborough in 4 days' time. I'm going to rest up the players. This is the one game this year where I go into it expecting us to batter the opposition. Let's see if we can make it happen. So there is a full set of Premier League fixtures going on. We are, of course, going to focus on ours against bottom of the table Peterborough. They have 3 points from 13 games. That is kind of the position that I feared we might be in. Of course, we've got off to a good little start, but I'm keen not to see it splutter out. If you lose this game here, 6 games without a win, including a defeat against the team who are bottom, would be a concern. Now, of course, we have already done an away day against Peterborough, so no away day today. Sorry, away day fans, but there's plenty of action going to be going on over on this pitch where I am going to make a couple of changes. I'm going to bring Mikel back into the team. Elsewhere, I'm looking at the ratings thinking, is there anyone I should bring in based off form? And you know what? There probably is. Kevan Williams, on you come. We're then going to move Chilumbu, I think, to play as an advanced forward, with Williams, of course, playing that pressing forward role. On the occasions where I've played Williams, he's done okay, kind of. We're going to give him a start today and see what he can do. He did get 2 goals as we beat Wolverhampton Wanderers, so he's proven himself against weaker Premier League opposition. He's going to get a chance today, and you know what? Elsewhere, I am also going to bring Lemos into the team. Going into this game, I was able to rest the players ahead of the fixture, so we're fairly rested up going into this one, but still nice to be able to offer a little bit of rotation here and there. In terms of Peterborough's form, you can see here, they've not won in their last 5 games, which I want to say, haha, you suck, but I know that ours is even worse. We've lost 4 of our last 5. A win here for either team would be massive. Neither team's going to want the draw. Both teams are going to think they can win this one. I'm predicting goals. I feel like Peterborough are the unsung rivals of us in this save game. The amount of times where we've battled against Peterborough, I feel like we played them 3 times during 2 years in the Championship in live commentaries, and here they are, popping up again, but hopefully on this occasion we are going to get the better of them. In fact, I'm now remembering when we played them last time. Can you remember that game? It was like 7-2. It was that mental game. I can't even remember the scoreline. I lost count. I can only count to 5. I know it was more goals than that. Hopefully it's not going to be that kind of scoreline today. Although the fact they had a chance early on concerns me. We do still also have this corner to deal with here. Poku is going to take it. He's whipping it in. Headed away from danger as far as Blake. A little bit more potentially needs to be done here, but with plenty of players back, I want to believe we can weather the storm, and indeed, we are going to weather the storm. Adama with the ball for Peterborough, looking to go down the line. Schmid wins the header. Chilumbu getting that all-important second touch forward, but Peterborough in possession again. Inside this first 10 minutes, we have been dominating the play, but it feels like every highlight is Peterborough, with their rare spells on possession, actually getting it forward into dangerous areas. That said, there is a 2-on-2 at the back here. Chilumbu going to play forward Kevan Williams. Can he do it in the Premier League? Oh, I really wanted to believe he was going to do it in the Premier League. Kevan Williams, 5 finishing, hits the crossbar. I think it's still shaking. Corner for Peterborough. Plenty of players forward in the attack. Poku stood over it on that far side in front of the away fans. It's whipped in. Teixeira heads it away to Blake, who still has it in a dangerous area. And oh my word, I thought that was in for a mo. Howe with the free kick. Wide area, whipping it back post. Chilumbu was under it. Cleared away, but only as far as Lemos. Teixeira nods on. He's now hit the woodwork as well. How have we not scored in this game? I am scared. Lemos has got bucked. He's already shown that he can be ill-disciplined. He needs to be a well-behaved boy for what remains of this game. Half-time, 0-0. Gonna tell the players I'm far from pleased. Ordinarily, a draw away from home in a Premier League game would be a really good result. Against Peterborough, of all the teams in this league, this is the one that I look at and think, we probably do need to try and get 3 points here. They've not won all year. There's still plenty of time, and while there might be a chance here, ball whip back post. Schmid heads it. We've hit the woodwork for a 3rd time in this game. I am losing my mind. If we do not win this game now, it's because the woodwork got man of the match, and not because our players didn't hit the target. Right, let's make some changes here. I am going to bring in Gaspar for Williams. He's not at the best of games. I'm then going to swap these 2 guys around. Elsewhere in the team, Aboubakari is going to come in for Lemos on a booking. Schmid on a booking I don't love, but he is putting in a pretty good performance. Volder's not at the best of games, so I'm going to bring in McKillop and move Machete to right wing back. Similar triple change to actually the triple change we made last game. And well, hopefully we're going to get a goal in this game. I say that. This is a highlight before the subs have even happened. Is something magical about to happen? Adam, what can you do here? He gets to the byline. He floats in. Kevan Williams is about to come off. And, well, I don't know what's just happened there. The ball's not in the back of the net. The keeper's made a save, kind of. I don't even think it was on target. Not going to question it. I don't know. Football Manager weirdness. I am going to get shouty with the players. A shouter to man more. My words ringing in their ears. Can we make something happen now? McKillop caught in possession. Can we win the ball back in a pretty dangerous area for Peterborough, or are we going to allow them to bring it forward like this? Schrock, ball played forward to him, nods it down the line. Jaime is going to get there, though, and mop up the pieces. Lays it inside to Follentin, who, well, has had questionable form as of late. So far in this game, he's not done anything too egregiously wrong, the right centre-back. Now he's in possession, I'm getting nervous. He plays it forward. Chilumbu takes it down. Really nice. Gaspar. Options in the middle. Aboubakari on off the bench. Through the middle. Tucks it away. Take a bow, my son. With that goal, he becomes joint top goal scorer for the season. And the subs made an impact. That was a really good counter-attack. Chilumbu using that physicality to win the ball there. Lays it inside to Gaspar. And then Aboubakari making that all too familiar run through the middle as the shadow striker. Just ploughing on through, arriving from deep. And a really good finish at the end of it that gives us the lead. With that goal, I am just going to get rid of pass into space and also lower the tempo slightly. Just a little bit of game management needed here. We have dominated possession in this game. We can hold on to it for what remains. 5 minutes left. Peterborough are pushing here, and with them pushing, maybe it leaves them open to a second goal, or maybe we should be focusing more on defending. That said, we are continuing to dominate possession. I think we've had 65% of the ball here. Follentin, though, has lost the ball in an atrocious area, and now Biref is bringing it forward. One-on-one potentially, lays it back to Schrock, who's going to pull the trigger. Setford spills it, makes a save. I don't even know what's happened. It was offside. It didn't matter. Setford spilt the initial one, and then made a heroic save, which, as you can see there, did not cross the line, but it would have counted anyway. So heroic, yes. Did it matter? No. 3 minutes of added time. I didn't need another highlight, Football Manager. Why are you doing this to me? Machete, though, on the far side, playing as that right wing back now. Look at this expert time wasting by Machete. Love it. He gives it to McKillop, back with Machete, lays it to Adam, the left back, who's in a wild area to pull the trigger. But I'll tell you what, pull the trigger, friend. Have a go. Why not? That is a ridiculous goal. I think we might have just witnessed goal of the season here. It looked like absolutely nothing was going to happen. Why Adam, the left wing-back, has decided to find himself there, I'm not sure. But I'm not going to complain. Opens up his left foot, wraps his foot around it, and picks out that top corner. And with that late goal, we get a massive win. Only our 5th win of the season. And whilst this is a game I was expecting us to win, I was hoping we would win, to come out of this episode with 4 points is really good. Hopefully, like I said before the first game, this gives us a bit of momentum now. We're up to 11th, 18 points. We are in a decent little position all of a sudden. If you're wondering about our finances, by the way, I am currently improving the training facilities and youth facilities again this year. We're getting lots of improvements done there. And despite all of that, we've still got £9 million in the bank. You can kind of see the total profit here, looking at 4.5 million. But I think that doesn't even kind of factor in the fact that we've bought and paid for some facilities this month as well. In fact, if I just show you the board request screen here, you can see we're currently in the process of improving the youth and training facilities again. It's going to be done in around 3 months' time, so not too long to wait for that. And when you look at the stuff that we've completed this year, just the continued improvements across the board, we're in a good little spot. If we can stay up this year, which feels, I don't want to say it too loudly, but it feels definitely possible at this point, we could have a good little side emerging here, a good little bit of infrastructure. I mean, look at our youth recruitment, 4.5 stars. I'm already excited for this year's youth intake, although, is this the actual preview? I feel like this isn't the actual preview. I hope this isn't the actual preview because it says excellent and it's all Ds. I don't think it's generated the intake yet. If this is it, I am now depressed. Massive couple of results today in the league. Results that we needed to get. We needed to bounce back. 2 clean sheets in a row is great to see. Defensively, we're looking very strong. And we're now in a position where hopefully we can go on and string a couple of results together. In terms of when we're going to be back next time, Wolverhampton Wanderers away is at the start of January. They are down in the relegation zone. Southampton are down in 16th for another team that we play right on the cusp of that kind of December-January period. So I think we will come back for those two. You might have spotted it here. We are in the FA Cup. I saw comments suggesting, Jack, go on a cup run this year. Well, we're out the Carabao Cup. We lost 7-0 to Blackburn. And in the FA Cup, We've been drawn against Manchester United. So, yeah, I don't think there's a cup run happening, sadly. Either way, hopefully you guys enjoyed today's episode. Let me know what you think of the season so far. Any players that are performing better than you expected, worse than you expected, any observations off the games you've seen today, I'd love to see them down in the comments. Besides that, folks, have a lovely weekend. I will see you guys on Monday for more Park to Prem action. And until next time, it is me, Jack. I'll talk to you all on the next one. I'm out.